Hey, Edson, Mayor Zahara here with a Town of Edson update for July the 8th. Over the last number of weeks, we have been doing COVID-19 updates. We are now transitioning to Town of Edson updates, information about what's going on within the Town of Edson. We're still going to include COVID-19 information, but we're going to be focusing more on general things going on within the municipality and Edson Town Council. Of course, across the province, COVID-19 continues to be a huge concern. We've seen some fairly consistent numbers, between 40 and 50 new cases each day throughout Alberta. We have seen an outbreak at the Misericordia Hospital in Edmonton, but here in Edson, luckily, we haven't seen any new confirmed cases of COVID-19, but we got to continue and making sure that we're not letting our guard down, making sure we're hand sanitizing and physically distancing as much as possible. And if you're feeling sick, please stay at home and making sure you're not spreading any unwanted illness around the community. With COVID-19, Sidewalk Jamboree was canceled this year. The Chamber of Commerce had to make that difficult decision, but there is going to be somewhat of a mini jamboree, a sidewalk sale happening in downtown Edson, July 16th through 18th. So we're going to be shutting down Main Street and the streets we normally shut down in order to allow this to happen, so people can go down and see what local businesses have to offer, support local business. It's so critical right now. They're really struggling, and when you go shop on Amazon and online, of course, that's money going outside of our community. We got to try to keep as much as we can within our community. So July 16th through 18th, that's going to be going on in downtown Edson. Of course, making sure you're sanitizing your hands, making sure you're not getting too close to one another. That's why one of the reasons the streets are going to be shut down, and support our local business community. They're also looking at getting some food trucks in as well. So hopefully we'll see you down there. Now, when it comes to Town of Edson stuff, items that are going on, we have a lot happening. Of course, the rain the last number of weeks has caused havoc throughout the community, especially with our storm sewer system. We've had some storm sewer collapses, and crews will be out fixing those over the next number of weeks. Of course, it's created havoc on our road system as well. You'll see crews out patching. We do have about $1.2 million worth of paving that's going to be occurring later on this summer. Of course, construction going on West Haven Drive the last number of weeks. They're replacing catch basins there, and paving is scheduled to begin on July the 25th. That is weather permitting, so hopefully the rain will hold off, and paving crews will be able to get in there and get West Haven Drive repaved, and paving crews will be throughout town doing patches and different work throughout the Town of Edson. Kinsman Park has been under construction. They were replacing, doing some underground infrastructure work for the new Parkland Lodge. That is wrapping up. They have some landscaping and some deficiency work to fix up there. So you'll see construction crews in that area, but that project is wrapping up. The snow dump construction continues there. They're about a third way complete. And the landfill, of course, we had the fire there over a year ago. We had to create a new landfill cell. That construction is coming to completion, and we hope to have that new landfill cell opened in early August. We were hoping it would be open by now, but with the rain, it has really delayed things. And once that cell is reopened, we'll be able to accept more items, and we'll get rid of those bins that you have to load your truck off of into, which will be certainly handy. One of the things, though, with the Landfill Council, got an update about the landfill. With the new wetlands policies within the province of Alberta that have been instituted over the last number of years, we were anticipating to have a 25-year lifespan at the Edson landfill. We now only have a 16-year lifespan, which means we're going to have to look for a new landfill space very soon. Of course, people don't want landfills near them, so it's going to be a huge challenge for our community, which is really important that as many people as possible recycle and keep things out of the landfill. Use your organics bins. That's one of the reasons why we brought in the organics program, to divert waste from the regional landfill, and making sure we're doing everything we can to reuse and reduce the use of materials. We have the Restore now at the recycling depot. Such a great idea. Go support that. If you're doing construction and you have materials that don't need to go in the landfill, take them down there, because people can reuse them, and you're helping the environment and helping landfill space which is really, really good to see. Now, I have some great news to share with you this week, a couple different things. Of course, we've had the budget reductions as a part of COVID-19 that are continuing till the end of the year. Summer students were cut from the budget. We were fortunate enough to get a federal grant for an 8-week program to have summer students. So we've hired 7 summer students who are going to be working over the next 8 weeks within the town of Edson. So you're going to see some increased levels of service that you haven't seen the last couple months with those summer students coming on. So that's certainly great news. We're also working on reopening Repsol Place. You've probably heard on September 8th. We're going to have our first ice surface in, and then the week following, we're going to have the second ice surface in. We're also making plans to reopen the pool. We have no firm dates on that, but hopefully shortly after the arenas are reopened, we'll have the pools reopened as well. A little bit more difficult with the pool because we have to rebalance it as well as recall all the staff that were laid off. So that'll take some time and get the facility ready. As well as there's a lot of protocols that we have to follow with cleaning and sanitization that we need to look at and budgetary considerations. But hopefully we'll have some information on that sooner rather than later. Also, TMX Pipeline construction going to be starting next week. They are getting some preparation work done this week, and full-on construction is scheduled to begin next week. You'll see them working through Vision Park. So if you do see construction crews, of course, give them room to work. And if your kids, make sure your kids are aware that construction is going on and they should be safe and stay away from those construction areas. And we've announced we're also installing 7 lighted pedestrian crossings within the town of Edson here later next week. Hopefully the weather cooperates for that as well. Originally, we only had a handful that we were going to be doing, but our friends at TC Energy stepped up to the plate and provided funding for an additional couple sets of lights within our community. So we're going to be able to do 7 here in July in front of the daycare on 55th Street, on Edson Drive, on 13th Avenue, over by the hospital. Increasing pedestrian safety, which has been a priority for our council, and vehicle safety. Of course, the 4-way stop over by the town office as well that has been announced, all in an effort to make our streets safer. So you'll see that going in here at the end of next week. Edson, that's my update for this week. I'll have another one for you next Wednesday. Have a great week and a fantastic weekend.